sorry. I think Facebook wanted me to say what I had to say. It cut my time a little bit short, so I'll wrap this piece up from insurance. And again, obviously, you can go to the other posts and log in at prepostgame.com and ask your questions from there. But at the same time, again, to make a choice about a school, it's a business decision. So I implore all the families and parents to understand. In Division I in particular, there's 130 schools, there's 124 and 1 AA, and then it's about a total of 650 to 700 in Division 2, 3, NAIA, and JUCO. The fact of the matter is, if your goal is to get a degree, there's 700 schools you can choose from. Do what's best for you. Invest in yourself, not the industry. And particularly for those that are trying to play at the next level, whether it's basketball, football, baseball, hockey, whatever. At the end of the day, it's still about your talent. It doesn't matter. The kids that are going to get drafted in April 25th to 28th, they could have played at any university for any coach. Their talent is the reason why they're getting drafted this coming April. It's not about the coach that they played for. I know they want you to believe that. And again, I'm a biggest proponent of coaches teaching people things to do things the right way and character development. I said this today in a post. I said, don't let telling and yelling be confused for coaching and teachable moments, because it's not. If I tell you something to do and then yell at you, that doesn't make me a good coach at all. At the end of the day, that sets me up to not really be able to focus on what I got to do to move forward to protect myself at every level. So once again, that's the last piece regarding that. So again, moving over to Richard Sherman, who just signed a 3-year, $39 million total incentives, $5 million guaranteed with the San Francisco 49ers to play against his actual in the same division as his old team, the Seattle Seahawks. A lot of people wanted to basically bash Mr. Sherman for his actual choice to play with for San Francisco. But the fact of the matter is, as I said earlier, Mr. Sherman made a contractual agreement with Seattle, and Seattle was the one that broke that contract. It's no different than being in a relationship or being fired. If you fire me, I'm supposed to still go somewhere else you want me to go because you don't like it. That's what people are confused about athletes in sports. When I say that we're more than an athlete, we're humans. We pay taxes. Actually, athletes pay more taxes than most people ever alive. If you didn't know, every team that the athlete plays for, every city that they play in during that season, they got to play that state tax code. Again, unfortunately, a lot of athletes that's getting drafted and hiring agents, things like that, they never got that information from whether it's the agency or actually the school that it went to with the free education. So once again, he did not have an agent at this point. So once again, the last time he had an agent, they put him in his contract deal that now he didn't finish getting paid for. Yes, he got injured, but the fact of the matter is, if you're going to sign a contract and agreement based on all things that normal people understand, like terms such as guarantee versus fully guaranteed, we'll touch base on that sooner than later about what players need to understand in their families regarding if somebody said you have a guaranteed contract. A quick example may be you guaranteed $5 million if you make it to work every day on time. You guarantee $5 million if you don't wake up out of your bed late. You guarantee $5 million if you don't run a red light. All those different things are guarantees that are in that contract that player didn't even read because it was pushed in front of his face from the actual agent. Once again, the number that is the agent is compensated for is the number off top, not the actual guarantees. One of the examples I like to talk about is Von Miller, his contract in 2015 when he played for the Denver Broncos. Mr. Miller was the MVP of the Super Bowl champion for the Denver Broncos, but yet he was offered a contract for 6 years, $114 million. He turned down that contract, and everybody that basically knew it through the media and through, that's why we're doing this now, to really educate you. We're not going to do the things that you hear on the ESPNs of the world and the propaganda that spin you in circles about debating something that doesn't even need to be debated. The fact of the matter is, 6 years, $114 million contract that was offered Mr. Von Miller was actually only had $39 million in guarantees. $39 million as a guy that was a Super Bowl MVP, well below his market value. Now, this was given to him by his agent and John Elway, a former player who actually was once the GM for the Colorado Crush and Arena Football League before they folded. At the same time, when he did that, Mr. Miller said he's not going to play because he knows his worth. And that's key, knowing your worth. This ties into Mr. Sherman making his decision. Von Miller said he wasn't going to play. Less than 2 weeks later, that same $6 million, $114 million contract was returned to Mr. Miller with $71 million guaranteed. So you mean to tell me just 2 weeks ago, I helped you win a Super Bowl. You love me. I'm great. We're family. We're together in this. You offered me a contract with $39 million guaranteed. You was okay with that. 2 weeks later, when you realize I know my worth and my value, and I say I will not put my body, my mind, my soul, my family, jeopardize what they got going on for less than my value. And then you up the ante, $31 million. So again, you hired an agent for what? If you got to tell an agent that I'm not going to take $31 million less, who they working for? The player or the team? I know the answer to that question. That's why pre-post game is here. To provide sports business management and advisory for athletes and their families for their best interests. If you don't know the market, if you don't know your worth, if you can't count, if you don't understand money management, if you don't understand that when you sign a 6-year deal in the NFL, when the average career is 2.9 years, that they're just using that and using you to tell you, hey, you get longevity and what do you call it? Taking care of your family. No. Kirk Cousins has recently signed the biggest contract in the history of football. 3 years, $84 million, with a chance to get to $90 million, fully guaranteed, meaning fully. That means if he oversleeps, he bumps his head, he curses at somebody, he's getting his money. As long as he's not fired for cause, he's getting his money. And when I mean fired for cause in sports, that could be easy, but at the same time, almost impossible to deny him that money. 3 years. And what happens in the NFL if Kirk Cousins now wants to basically play well the first 2 years, get close to Super Bowl, the Minnesota Vikings not going to want him to leave. So he's going to get more guaranteed money. We've been advising people for this for years. For years. It's a blessing to start to see that now. So what Mr. Sherman has did with his $13 million a year contract, because he has 2 injuries to his Achilles. So once again, when it comes to sports and athletes, your leverage comes when you're young, not when you're old. So when the NFL changed the CBA in 2011, the last guy that was actually that got the old CBA money was Sam Bradford out of Oklahoma, Heisman Trophy winner. He had a $50 million guarantees. The very next year, Cam Newton, who was also in the Super Bowl, who's a Heisman Trophy winner, a national championship winner, contract was 4 years, $22 million. NFL and the Players Association said that they're going to basically take care of the veterans. They earned the right. They told you that, but now you see all these players that had 3, 4, 5 years. Richard Shermans and Dominican Sues, you name it. Keith Talib's, Danny Amendola's. Cut. Somebody's lying. It's not the players. You just basically seen this free agent frenzy with a bunch of players who literally already had contracts cut to go somewhere else to basically make the same or even more money than they would from the team that said they loved them in the first place. So if that's how it's going to be, why would you even take a chance on getting cut? Why would you basically sign up for paper money that's not really there? Sports is not a game. It's all business. I definitely apologize for the actual shortage cutting off. Like I said, I think Facebook wants to silence me. But again, I look forward to speaking to you guys more often. Again, for me, I'm Robert T. Green. I'm the Players Rep. I'm here to educate and empower, protect the athletes and the families' best interests alone. You can find us on our website at prepostgame.com. We cover everything sports, business, management, advisory at every level. Consulting, you name it, first quarter to the fourth quarter. We got your back in everything that you do. We're not here just because, we got anything else better to do. What I'm doing right now today, there's a lot of competitors out there that rather me not be here, and I understand that. And I appreciate that. But I'm going to be here. We're going to be here. Because at the end of the day, everybody's understand it's 2018. In sports, whether it's the construction sites, whether it's the ESPNs, whether it's the Winter Olympics, whether it's the Super Bowl, all these things revolve around one thing. And without that one thing, none of this exists. And 80% of those people look like me. But 99% of those people that also look like me aren't telling these young, talented athletes that they're more than that and they can be more than that, and that this is a short-lived window and you got to maximize your opportunity. And again, your leverage comes when you're young. But so when it comes to you young, you got to be educated sooner. Parents, your kid needs you as a parent. You can't be a friend. You can't be a fan. These schools, these coaches, they'll eat that stuff up. They'll eat it up. Then they'll be eating your kid up and throwing them away. Sports is not a game. Sports is all business. I look forward to speaking to you guys again. Again, this is the pre-post game podcast sponsored by the African American Athlete, hosted by Ricky Hampton and Michael Robinson. You can also check them out on Tuesdays from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. through their podcast. You can find out more information at theafricanamericanathlete.com. You can follow me specifically, the Players Rep, at the Players Rep 1 at Twitter, at Instagram. Like I said, I look forward to talking to you guys soon. I hope, again, my checks and balances, like I said earlier in the previous video, to educate, empower, and protect. I hope I did that with you guys tonight. Look forward to speaking to you again. God bless.